So what we have done here, after we used the scraper blade, first the excavator moving the trees, and then used the excavator to smoothen it out with the bucket, and then the scraper blade over there somewhere with the tractor, and then the rake. So right now we are working on the swales. So we are going to put up 3 of them. So you can probably see here that we have some stakes along the edge there, and we have one going here, and then we're going to have a third one down here. So we are using our spinning laser level. I don't know the technical term for it, but there's a laser level that spins around and in a certain speed. I think it's on the maximum speed now, but anyway, so then we put that stake against as close as we can to there, and then see where the laser beam hits the stake my wife is holding, so that we can level the beeper on the measure stick. So now that measure stick has the beeper on the measure stick, it's hard to see, so sunny, has the same exact level or height as the head of the laser level and the beam. So can you show how you beep it to where it's supposed to be?
And what we do is you want all your swales to be totally level. You don't want it to run from one place to another and puddle, and that's why we want to have it so it's completely level all the way around. That's why it's not going to be a straight line. Wherever it is, it's going to be level. That way the water can soak into the ground, and then anything that goes above that, when you irrigate into the first one, will run into the next one until it's completely level all the way around. And that makes it so that the water will seep into the underground reservoirs and water your perennial plants. Because really a forest garden is for perennial plants, not annual. And so this is the way that you do it, so that everything is completely level, so it doesn't run. So let's...
Yeah, hold on. So as you can see here, these stakes here that we put up, there's one there, they are not totally on a line, but they are on a level. They level with each other. They have exactly the same, let's call it altitude or height, compared to the laser level. So that shows that this area was not that bad. Like,
that off.
no, it was not that off.
That's good.
So how do you do this, honey?
So we just move this until there's a red top and a red bottom light. And if it hasn't if the top light beeps, then that means you're too high. If the bottom line beeps, that means you're too low. The middle one is a green one, and when it has a solid beep, that means you're just right. Okay, so start.
Probably up.
Just kind of move it. You can hear it. Okay, so it's showing the bottom light beeping. And oh, the top light. They've got a stick in the way. Bottom light. Okay.
Yeah, that will come and hammer it down. But another thing, so now I'm filming towards the laser level, and the laser level is spinning, but the beam is hitting maybe my chest or stomach. So when you work with these, you have to be very careful, because the laser beam can be bad for your eyes. So you're supposed to use these type of red laser glasses, but we just make sure we don't look at the laser beam. So now we are putting up, we have one right under here, a stake where we started, and then we're going to put one there and all the way to the end. And when we have done that, we will show you what we are choosing to do for the next step.
Okay, so the next step is to make a chalk line. so that you can, between stakes, then we'll remove the stakes. Then my husband can take the tractor with the furrower, it's called a middle buster, to just drive in the middle of the chalk line, and it will make a furrow right where we need to for the swales. The chalk that we're using, a lot of people use lime, but since we have high alkaline soil where we live, in the Rockies, we don't want to make our soil more alkaline with lime, so we're using gypsum. And gypsum is actually neutral, so it's a neutral type of sulfur. And sulfur is really good for the soil. It's good for your plants. It makes them robust and also makes you robust. Sulfur is really good for anti-aging properties. So if your plants take this up, it's not going to hurt anything. So it'll just keep it at a neutral level, but put sulfur in the soil. So you see, he's done a lot of the gypsum. Now we'll get to do the furrowing. Go. Dakota, don't you like the chicken being next to you, huh? You don't? Says, get away from my mama. That's what you say, huh? Yeah, that's Romeo. Hi, Romeo. Yeah, he's a nice rooster. Yep, he does not want that chicken anywhere near his mama, because it's my mama. This first one, he tips a bit because he's on that edge, but it's working. That's the middle buster furrower by King Cutter that's on the back of this Kubota tractor. And so there he blows. Just puts the line right under the middle of the tractor and off he goes. Yeah, this way it will be deep enough when we get the rakes, and we're going to rake it downhill, all this loose dirt. We're going to make little berms. Then we're going to put the trees, fruit and nut trees, about 20 feet apart on these berms. And that will leave the hole on the left for the irrigation when we put the hose in. We've got a big 1,100 gallon tank up on the mountain here, and we'll just run 300 feet of hose down here and just put it in the first one, the first swale, and then when it fills up, we're going to have it on the ends where it can actually run down into the next one until at the bottom they've all been filled with water. Then we'll turn it off. Yeah, everything in here is going to be perennial. But we might have like a little key nook thing in the middle somewhere where we're going to put some annuals. Then I'll have to figure out how we're going to water those for sure. I'll probably just put a little sprinkler in the middle after we let all this stuff go. Or even put like 2 different valves so you can turn one, have one sprinkling on one while one's filling. Well, no, it won't be enough pressure. So I'll probably just do one after the other. But we'll still have 2 valves to shut off so you don't have to take the hose off, clear up on the mountain. Yeah, it's so nice my hubby was able to fix that back right tire. He put air in it instead of fluid. The left one has a lot of fluid in it, but the right one had a bunch of fluid, but it was just spraying out when we brought it up here. So he got a valve and got it all fixed. Sure nice to have a handyman. He can do just about anything. When I married him, he was just a software developer, but he's learned all this other stuff. That's one thing I like about him. He likes to learn new stuff and has no problems being a detective and figuring it all out. Cool. Time for me to get busy.